Hello everybody and welcome to episode 13 of the Little Black Cat Knits podcast, a podcast all about knitting, crochet, sometimes cross stitch, sometimes sewing, quilting, whatever crafty things I do. This is my place to talk about all of those things. And yeah, I am your host Ashley. I'm coming at you from New Jersey, where I live with my husband and my two sons. And come on, Squeaky, come on. My little black cat, who right now is playing with one of my project bags. Let's see. It's been 3 weeks since I last podcasted, and kind of feel like I forgot how to do this. But yeah, it's been 3 weeks because I really didn't have much content last week, and I'll get into that. But yeah, let's see. Where can you find me? Haha, on Instagram and Etsy as Gatti Yarn Co. On Ravelry as AM Gatti, and there's also a Ravelry group for this podcast. You can find that by searching the Little Black Cat Knits podcast under the groups tab. If you don't feel like searching for any of those things, I will link them all below for you to click on. And yeah, today is Monday, June 8th, 2020. It is actually the 7-year anniversary of when we got our little black cat. Right, Squeaky? Yes. You're being such a bad boy today. Yes, you are. Come on. Come say hi. This is Licorice. What? You gonna be mean? I'd give you a kiss, but then I'd get lipstick on your head. He's mad. So yeah, I guess we should just jump right in. I have one FO, and of course it's in Paul's closet, so I can't physically show it to you, but I can pop a picture here, somewhere. Editing me will put it somewhere. But I finished the GRAMPS cardigan by Tin Can Knits for my future niece or nephew, who will be here next month. I knit it out of Bernat Baby Softy in the white and flannel colorways. And the buttons are just buttons I got from Loops and Threads. Nothing fancy. I don't even remember like the colorway name of the buttons. But yeah, this was so fun to knit because it's for my new niece or nephew, so I'm super excited about that. But the pattern itself was so easy to like construct, and it was fun because it was my first time doing a shawl collar and like short row shaping like in a collar like that. It was my first time doing pockets. It was my first time doing buttons and buttonholes, which was interesting to say the least. I did not realize that there was so much math that went into buttons. And I'm terrible at math, so I had Keith helping me figure out the math for that. It was absurd. But yeah, I washed it in a baby detergent and everything, and now it's in Paul's closet because I keep all of the baby things in the baby's room, naturally. And her baby shower is this Sunday, so I had it tucked away with the blanket I crocheted for the baby, just so that, you know, it wouldn't get anything on it. But of course, I put Paul down for his nap and completely forgot to grab the sweater. But anyway, editing me will pop a picture in so you can see it in all its glory. It took me 4 or 5 days to knit it, like from start to finish. And that's part of the reason why I didn't have enough content to stick to a 2-week schedule this time around and had to go to 3 weeks, because when I finished that sweater, I didn't want to knit or anything. My hands were killing me because I knit it non-stop because we weren't sure like how the baby shower was gonna have to get moved around because of COVID and, you know, restrictions and all that. So like my hands were killing me. I didn't want to knit, so I was doing a lot of cross stitching. which I'll show that later, but oh my god, I didn't want to knit anything, so I gave myself an extra week. I said, you know what? Wait it out a week. You may get some of your knitting and crocheting mojo back. And sure enough, I did, because I have a couple whips and new cast on and a new crochet start. So yeah, waiting an extra week was clearly worth it. I don't know why I look so darn pale. I've been in the sun like crazy. What's going on here? Anyway, moving right along, we'll jump into whips. First things first are my TWAS the Night Before Christmas socks by Danielle George. I started the leg. Not too much progress on this, but I did start the leg. I am knitting these on a size Chiaogu size US 1 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circular, and I'm knitting it out of Loops and Threads Perfect Pair in the Glory Days colorway. And yeah, I'm just trudging along as always. That's all I ever say. That's living in this project bag I sewed myself that has a nice big hole in it. Look at that. All right. And this is why I don't sew things that often, because they tend to fall apart. So that's that. I've been working on that like intermittently, nothing too crazy. The next thing I have been working on is my Rose City Rollers, or as I've been calling them, my Defending Jacob knitting. But I am cruising through the foot. I did all of this pretty much the last time I watched Defending Jacob, which was 2 weeks ago was the final episode. Last week was the Friday. No, there was no episode this Friday because it ended. The show was done. And if you have not watched it, go do it because it's incredible. But yeah, I'm knitting these on Chiaogu 9-inch circulars, US size 1 2.25 millimeter, and I'm knitting it out of Once Upon a Corgi Bears Beats Battlestar Galactica is the colorway. And yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna finish these now that I don't have my Defending Jacob weekly watch to just mosey along on these. Of course, landscapers, I apologize. They never have a set schedule, these landscapers. Like, they may come like on Wednesday or Monday, or maybe they'll come Monday 2 weeks in a row, but like one Monday they'll come at like 11 o'clock in the morning, and the next Monday they'll come at 6 o'clock at night. I never know when to expect these people, so I was not anticipating that at all. Anyway, that is those. Moving right along, into my next whip, which is my Harry Potter sweater, Mrs. Weasley's home knit Christmas sweater. I think that's the proper name for it. We've already decided here on the podcast we're just gonna call it the Harry Potter sweater. I finished the back. We've got the shoulders on hold, the neckline stitches have been bound off. It's crazy because it's all stockinette, so it's rolling. There's sleeves, I promise. Armholes. Oh goodness. And not only did I finish the back, fold that up, get that tucked out of the way, I started the front. Did this morning. All of this was this morning. I'm so excited. We all know how I feel about this sweater. We all know how I feel about this sweater. So yeah, I'm moving right along. What are you doing back there, Goonie?
I want to watch you.
You want to come say hi?
I want to be in the bed with you. This is my...
Say hi. This is my son, Bruce. How old are you?
4.
4. Oh my goodness. Big Goonie. Why are you holding up 2 fingers when you said 4?
Because mine was 2 years old when he was turning 3.
I don't think that makes no sense, but okay. All right, bud, go downstairs. Let me finish my video, okay? I gotta get it done before your brother gets up. I love you. So silly. Anyway. What is this?
Mom, I borrowed your blue phone.
Okay, can you close my door?
Okay. Thank you for ending the video.
What was I saying? Anyway, I started this morning. He threw me off. Okay. I'm knitting this out of, I know the gray is Loops and Threads, Impeccable, True Gray. The green, Red Heart, Emerald, I think? I have no idea. We've talked about this every week. I don't need to go in depth about that. Bruce coming in here really threw me off. Okay. It's living in this giant bag. Because God forbid I buy like normal project bags for my large projects. Okay, so let's go into a new cast on, which I'm super excited about. It is living in my witch bag from Toad Hollow. And it is my So Faded by Andrea MOWRY. I started this after I finished the GRAMPS because I wasn't letting myself cast it on until the GRAMPS was done. Am I really in the middle of a row? What is wrong with me? I'm not even like near my beginning of round. Like I'm just straight up in the middle. Anyway. So I've done my first color, which is done. It is this blue, which is my hand-dyed yarn in the trench coat colorway, which is part of my Supernatural collection. And I have faded into my next color, which is also my hand-dyed yarn, and it is from my Supernatural collection. It is called Kick It in the Ass. Now, this fade is absolutely stunning. I'm like real proud of myself for my color choices here. And I have to thank Nicole for helping me figure out layouts of colors and stuff. On camera, this is actually, I can actually see the difference. In person, when I'm sitting and I'm knitting it, because they're both like a cream off-white base with all of this heavy green and like, one is the green speckles, one is blue and black, but like, because the base of the yarn is like this like off-white like cream color, I am having such a hard time figuring out where the blue ends and the green starts, which is a problem when you have to like measure to change for when to fade into your next color. So I don't know if anyone's knit this, but the pattern doesn't tell you exactly when to fade into your next color. There's like math involved, which, guys, another thing. Me and math don't work out that well, but I figured it out. This one I did on my own, did not need Keith's help on that. But so my math came to about 3.5 inches per color before I start the fade. And it's, in person, it's really hard. I might have to like start taking a picture of it and then like I don't know. I don't even know how that would work. But this is it so far. I'm into my second color. These, like I said, are both my hand-dyed yarn. This is Trench Coat Caked Up, and this is Kick It in the Ass Caked Up. And then the rest of my fade. Why is this falling apart? My cake is falling apart. Ah. Oh no, it's unraveling from the outside. Okay, hold on. Okay. So Kick It in the Ass will fade into this color from Dragon Horde yarn called Stolen Song. So it's gonna fade into that. It's a very stark difference. They did not look this polar when they were skeined, but now that they're caked up, they look. I'm really hoping this works out well. I'm gonna like be very upset if they don't. Anyway, and then that is going to move into my hand-dyed yarn in the Don't Make Me Angry colorway, which is inspired by the Hulk. It's part of my Avengers collection. I'm very curious to see how this knits up, because in the skein, when it was skeined up, it was kind of like one half of it was green and one half of it was purple. And now that it's all caked up, it looks like this, and like there's white spots in it that I did not realize were there, which is fine. I'm cool with it. But I'm worried that it's going to like try and self-stripe or do like a weird like pooling thing. I'm very nervous. That's all I'm saying. And then Don't Make Me Angry will fade into my hand-dyed yarn again in the color Sharpshooter, which is another color from my Avengers collection, inspired by Hawkeye. So that is that. So yeah, I have to figure out how much longer I have to go with my green before I fade into my next color, and yeah, we'll go from there. So that is that new cast on. It's the So Faded by Andrea MOWRY, and put that away. And I have one more new start. It's cross stitch, because it was kind of bothering me that I didn't have any cross stitch on the hooks. And we all know how much I love having, not cross stitch, crochet. Wow, my brain. We all know how much I love having crochet on the hooks, because it just breaks up the knitting sometimes. Where's my hook? Here it is. Okay. This was a free pattern on, I found it on Pinterest. Let me see if I can find the name of it. But this is what it looks like.
I played this with Mama. Mama, here's your photos for you could know your video is starting.
Okay, thank you, buddy. Go. I gotta finish. I hear your brother crying. Close the door. Thank you. Children interrupted. I hear Paul screaming. So let me try to get this done as quickly as possible. A couple more things to show. So let's see if I can move through this quickly. Okay, so it is the Fall Pumpkin Blanket. I found it on Pinterest. This is what the pin looks like. And this is the blanket. I am making this for my mother-in-law for Christmas. I figured I'd start now because it's a blanket. And I am loving it. I am crocheting it on a 6mm hook. I have no idea what letter that is. Oh, my poor baby's crying. Okay. I am crocheting this out of Karen Cotton Cakes, and this is my first time using cotton yarn, and it's working out beautifully. I'm loving it. And in the colors Aqua Breeze, which is this blue, and Silver Cloud, which is the gray. And I'm loving it. I have noticed, though, I only have 36 rows left, and I don't know if it's because I'm crocheting too tight or too loose, or what, or if it's because I'm using cotton yarn, even though the yarn weight is the same as the weight of yarn called for in the pattern. But I only have 36 rows left, and it's supposed to be a full-size Afghan, but I only have, well, actually I think I'm less than 36 rows now. I think I'm at like 30 rows left, and it's like that's not going to be big enough to be an Afghan, like at all. It's going to be like baby blanket size. But when you read the pattern, it says that it's supposed to be a full-size Afghan. So I am thinking I'm going to just double the pattern. Like once I get to the bottom of the pattern, I'm just going to start back up from the beginning again and double it in width to make it more of like a lap blanket. So that's that. I am making this, like I said, for my mother-in-law, and this has been getting so much attention. What, honey? Okay. All right. Thank you, honey. But you gotta let me finish this because your brother is crying. So close the door. Just to make him happy, he wanted me to show this picture of the three of us, me, him, and his little brother. Paul was probably like a month or two old in this picture. Anyway, before that, he brought in my business cards. He's too funny. Anyway, okay. That is it for crochet and knitting and that. I do have some cross stitch that I've been working on. And now the cat's scratching at the door. This is a very interrupted podcast today. But yeah, I have some cross stitch I've been working on. And let me just pull up the one. Where is it? Because the one I didn't print the cover page out, so I don't have the can't talk, the cover photo. So hold on, let me pull this up on Etsy. Okay, so oh, he is, ooh, that baby's mad. Okay, let me go quickly here. So the first thing I've been working on cross stitch wise is this Captain America piece from Oh My Stitches shop on Etsy. And I have, last time you saw this, it was only some of the blue that was, like the dark blue that was done. I finished all this dark blue up here and all this light blue here. Oh, oh, angry baby. And that is that. I am going to speed through the rest of this. I only have one more thing to show. I probably won't do any chatter because that is one cranky baby back there. Alright. So the other cross stitch I have been working on is, where is the cover for this one? I'm all over the place. I'm hearing the baby crying is not helping. Is this Hocus Pocus cross stitch from Cloud's Factory. So that's what that looks like. And I have been flying on this one. Whew. I apologize for that interruption. Wow, that was crazy. Okay, a lot just happened. Let me just finish talking about this and then I have to go downstairs and feed Paul his lunch. Keith just needed my help with a diaper change because Paul, he's being a little cranky. He didn't want anybody to touch him. He's such a mama's boy, that baby. Okay. You probably hear him screaming right now. He's very hungry. Anyway, so this Hocus Pocus, I finished the bottom row here, so that really dark purple, and then I did the whole row of the green with the scissors, and I'm on to the next section. Yeah, I have been doing a whole lot of cross stitching lately because, like I said, that Gramps cardigan just kicked my butt. But yeah, I think that just about covers everything. If crafty content is all you came here to see, then thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to like or subscribe. You know, you guys know the drill by now. But yeah, I think that just covers it. There isn't really much to talk about in chatter other than it's still quarantine and I'm still trying to figure things out. Keith is going back to work June 22nd, which is exciting. May hopefully be able to get back into more of like a routine and some kind of normal. I don't know if he's going to be forced to have shortened hours. We don't really know what like that whole situation will be yet, but we shall see. Yeah, I've been kind of like going for walks, we've been going for drives a lot, I've been drinking a lot of Dunkin' Donuts coffee. It's out of control. And yeah, I've been going to my aunt's. She has a pool and it's been hot, so I'm actually going to be going there again today, again Wednesday. So yeah, I think that is pretty much it for this week's episode, with lots of interruptions and family members and nonsense. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Happy knitting. Bye.